The room was silent, almost unbearably so, as the reenactment of the traumatic events unfolded. In the center of the tense atmosphere sat Jin, the eldest member of BTS, and a figure of composure and strength. Yet, even he couldn't hold back the tears as Jungkook's mother, a pillar of grace in her own right, crumbled into sobs that echoed throughout the chamber. What had driven her to such despair? What was it about the reenactment that shattered not only her, but the collective composure of everyone in attendance? The tragedy began with an ordinary day in Jungkook's life, one that should have been filled with camaraderie and the structured discipline of military service. Instead, it spiraled into a nightmare of bullying that no one, least of all someone as gentle as Jungkook, should ever endure. And now, as the details were laid bare in a reenactment ordered by the military's investigative committee, the raw pain resurfaced like a tidal wave, engulfing everyone in its path. Jin had been a constant presence of support for Jungkook throughout the ordeal. As the eldest in BTS, he naturally took on the role of protector, not just in their years as bandmates, but even now, when they were separated by military obligations. Watching the reenactment was supposed to be a formality, a way to ensure justice was served. But no one, not even someone as seasoned as Jin, was prepared for the sheer brutality depicted in the events replayed that day. As the reenactment began, Jungkook's mother sat quietly, clutching a small handkerchief in her trembling hands. Jin, seated beside her, tried to offer comfort with soft words and a steadying hand on her shoulder. But as the first moments of the scene were played out, her composure shattered. The cruel laughter of the perpetrators, the mocking tone in their voices, and the sight of her son, humiliated and dehumanized, was too much for her to bear. Her sobs were sudden and uncontrollable, each one more heart-wrenching than the last. "How could they do this to my son?" she cried, her voice breaking with anguish. He gave his best to serve, to respect, to follow orders. Why was he treated like this? Jin, who had been trying to stay strong for her, felt his own resolve falter. His face crumpled as he struggled to contain his emotions, his tears spilling silently at first, then freely, as the weight of the moment overcame him. He turned to Jungkook's mother, his voice thick with emotion. "I'm so sorry," he whispered. "I'm so sorry that Jungkook had to go through this. If I could take his pain away, I would." The room was filled with military officials, legal representatives, and a few members of the press. Yet in that moment, it felt as though the only people present were Jin, Jungkook's mother, and the ghost of Jungkook's suffering. Even the sternest officials appeared visibly moved, their stern expressions softening as they witnessed the emotional devastation that the reenactment had wrought. For Jin, the pain was twofold. As he watched Jungkook's mother break down, he couldn't help but think of his own family, of his mother, who had supported him unconditionally throughout his career and his military service. The thought of her enduring such anguish was unbearable. And then there was Jungkook himself, the youngest member of BTS, someone Jin had always looked out for with brotherly affection. Seeing Jungkook's pain laid bare in such a graphic and unflinching way reignited a protective instinct in Jin that was both overwhelming and deeply personal. The reenactment ended, but the emotional aftermath lingered in the room like a heavy fog. Jungkook's mother was escorted out by medical personnel, her frail frame shaking as she clung to Jin for support. He stayed with her, whispering words of reassurance, even as his own tears continued to fall. The military officials who had ordered the reenactment appeared visibly shaken. One of them, a senior commander, addressed the room. "What we have witnessed today is a failure, not just of a system, but of humanity. This is not what our military stands for. This is not who we are. And for that, I apologize to Private John Jungkook and his family. We will ensure that justice is served." The perpetrators, who had been watching the reenactment from a separate room under guard, were reportedly stoic, though one of them was said to have broken down as the consequences of his actions became undeniable. The court proceedings that followed were swift, with all evidence, including the reenactment, presented to the judges. The guilty parties were sentenced to dishonorable discharges and significant prison time, their actions condemned as a gross violation of military ethics and human decency. For Jungkook, the path to healing was just beginning. Though he was not present for the reenactment, he later expressed his gratitude to Jin and his mother for their unwavering support. In a statement released through BTS's agency, Jungkook said, "What happened to me was painful, but it's not the end of my story. I'm grateful to my family, my brothers in BTS, and everyone who stood by me. Together, we will move forward." The incident sparked a nationwide conversation about bullying and abuse of power within hierarchical institutions. Advocacy groups praised Jin and Jungkook's mother for their courage in facing the trauma head-on, and they called for systemic changes to prevent similar incidents in the future. As for Jin, the experience left a lasting impact on him. Known for his calm and lighthearted demeanor, he emerged from the ordeal with a renewed sense of purpose. "Sometimes, being the eldest means carrying the heaviest burdens," he said in an interview. "But if it means protecting those I care about, I'll carry them gladly." In the weeks that followed, Jin and Jungkook's mother became unlikely advocates for change, using their platform to raise awareness about the need for compassion, accountability, and reform. Their bond, forged in the crucible of shared pain, became a source of strength for both of them as they navigated the aftermath of the ordeal. The world watched, heartbroken and inspired, as Jin and Jungkook's family turned their grief into action. Their story became a rallying cry for kindness, a testament to the power of love and resilience in the face of unimaginable hardship. And as they continued to stand together, it became clear that their strength was not just in surviving the storm, but in refusing to let it define them. The aftermath of the heart-wrenching reenactment continued to ripple through the lives of everyone involved. Jin's commitment to supporting Jungkook and his family didn't stop at the emotional scenes that unfolded that day. Instead, it fueled his determination to ensure that no one else would endure such pain, especially under circumstances meant to build camaraderie and resilience. In the days following the emotional reenactment, Jin spent considerable time with Jungkook's mother. She, once a vibrant and spirited woman, now carried a weariness that only comes from seeing her child suffer. Jin's presence brought her some comfort, as he reassured her that BTS and the global army stood firmly by Jungkook's side. During a private meeting with her, Jin opened up about his role as the eldest in BTS. "From the moment we debuted, I've always felt like it was my responsibility to take care of the younger members, especially Jungkook," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "Seeing him go through this has been one of the hardest things I've ever experienced. But I promise you, I will do everything in my power to make sure he knows he's not alone." Jungkook's mother, though still fragile, found strength in Jin's words. "You've been like a brother to him," she replied. "And for that, I'm eternally grateful. Knowing he has someone like you to lean on gives me hope." Fueled by the harrowing experience, Jin began working closely with advocacy groups that address bullying and abuse within hierarchical organizations, including the military. His involvement brought widespread attention to the issue, inspiring countless individuals to come forward with their own stories. Through public speeches, interviews, and social media campaigns, Jin emphasized the importance of creating safe and supportive environments. "This isn't just about Jungkook or BTS," he explained during a televised appearance. "This is about every individual who has ever been mistreated, overlooked, or silenced. It's time to break the cycle of abuse and build a culture of respect and empathy." Jin's advocacy efforts resonated deeply with fans and the general public alike. Social media was flooded with messages of support as people shared their own experiences and pledged to stand against bullying in all its forms. The hashtag #StandWithJungkook trended for weeks, becoming a global symbol of resilience and solidarity.